Hello.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning into Glue Factory. Before we get into this episode, we're reminding you that we have a Patreon. There's twice as much of this episode that you can enjoy if you go over there.
Also, please come see me at the Melbourne Comedy Festival. I'm at Town Hall every day at 9 p.m. The show's called Olga Koch Comes From Money.
I think this is coming out after this. Do you
Okay,
have anything
well,
else?
Never mind.
See us all later.
See me at the Sydney
later.
Comedy Festival, at the Brisbane Comedy Festival, at the New Zealand Comedy Festival, or if you're in Philadelphia, somewhere in Connecticut that I don't remember, and New York City.
If you understand any of the references I make, you should buy my book about autism.
Yeah, you probably have it.
It's not a sign, but it's not,
Yeah, it's not nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, come see me in Ireland. I think that's what I've got on. Yeah,
Right.
Cool. Cheers, guys.
Are you in the Mattress?
Yeah, I'm doing magic as well. Yeah.
What a fucked business card. Comedian, DJ, hypnotist, magician.
Just red flag after red flag. Did you do this, Monty's a very big sitcom that no one remembers from 70s British TV.
It does have the feel of it.
A little bit of this.
Blackface scandal.
Yes, yeah, there's a blackface episode. Always.
Yeah.
Who did it? It was Monty.
It was Monty. Monty
Oh,
did it.
man.
Yeah.
Is this the start?
Oh yeah, no,
Surely not this.
There's no intro.
Did you do this, Monty? Yeah.
No.
Is Monty a nickname you've had before?
Monty. My dad was always Monty to me, and
Yeah.
he was dad to me, but Monty to the people around him.
Yeah.
And then, ever since I became a stepdad, my stepdaughter started calling me Monty.
Oh, so she came up with Monty.
Well, it was
It
around.
feels quite impertinent from
But-
a stepchild.
It was in the
Monty.
air.
It was
Yeah.
Monty, and then all of the family around her. So all of like my partner's, all of everyone. To them, I'm Monty, and then in the outside world, I'm a guy.
Yeah.
But I feel like some of your New Zealand friends will call you Monty. Do you guys?
Yeah, I get. And I think that was popularized by my stepdaughter.
Oh, that's
she's very
sick.
influential.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
unusual. It feels unusual to have a second name nickname.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's quite Antipodean though. You
Is
see
it?
it around. But Olive's coming out. She came up with flossing. You know that dance trend?
Yeah.
That was her.
Really? I have a bit about Olive in one of my shows. She's everywhere.
Yeah,
She's freaking
you do,
everywhere.
Oh,
actually.
wow.
It's a funny line.
I gotta.
Yeah.
She
You
wrote
give
it.
Chelsea gets a laugh line for that actually as well. It's funny stuff.
Look, I crowdsource all of my shows.
You got it.
To various children.
Do you know who no one's been talking to so far here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just glad to be here.
David Correos.
Have you got
any nicknames?
I don't know if you guys get the thing of like you have like an on-stage name and an off-stage name.
Yeah.
Like if you feel like you're tight with someone, like if a comic, you have like. So I feel like everyone who kind of like knows me calls me Dave, but then if you call me David, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in like David.
Oh
mode.
fuck! Am I allowed to call you Dave?
Yeah,
Is that
you look
okay?
at me, Dave. Yeah,
All
fuck
right, I'm
yeah.
gonna start calling you Dave.
I call
yeah.
you David.
Yeah, and I love that,
And you call me, you say,
Mr. Guy.
yeah, you call me Mr.
Oh, that's
Guy.
good.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. My I don't know if it's not my Filipino-ness, but I have like hierarchies. So if I call you Mr. or something, I like see you.
Everything has to be.
You are
filed.
my senior.
Everything has to be filed in an order in a row.
Oh hell yeah.
What do you call Pierre?
What are you going to? We've only just met.
We've only just met, so it's Pierre. But then once I really break through, it's gonna be Mr. Pierre, and I can feel it.
So you meet people as a pair, and then you mentally elevate them to be your senior. So you become differential to people who start as friends.
Hell yeah.
A crazy way to live.
Because the respect goes up. You know, the connection becomes deeper, and the respect goes up. And I'm like, I need to start adding.
You know that the longer people know you, the less respect they'll have for you. And so you're actually eroding
I
familiarity.
hate that, and I hate how that works. I think it should be the other way around.
It's funny, yeah, because I would love to call you Mr. David, but it almost feels, I don't know. This is my own hang up, I guess. It feels like I'm doing racial mirroring or something. I'm like, I never call anyone Mr. First Name. you know?
Yeah.
I think it's hard because I like playing in low status. So I feel like if I make the other person high status, it makes me feel a lot more comfortable. When I'm in high status, it freaks me out. I feel like I'll make some bad moves or something.
Well, you've been put in charge of the plane.
Put in charge of the plane.
Yeah. Like,
Oh please no, thank you. Put me at the back. Put me at the back, please.
Does anyone here think in a crisis situation that they could land a plane?
Yeah, easy.
Ooh. Easy.
I feel like all of you would trust me to do it out of this lineup.
Isn't there now like a button basically that says land plane and that,
I'll like call them downstairs.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I
tell
mean?
them it's all good.
Or one of those things where it's like, is there a doctor on board? I'll be like, is there a pilot on board?
Please. What do you mean downstairs?
On the ground.
I've done all those steps.
Look, I have some computer stuff in my hand. I can put two and
Yeah.
two together. I can drive a
true.
car and operate a computer.
You're
What's
backing
flying
yourself
a
with the
plane?
buttons more so than anything else.
I'm the button girl. Yeah, big time.
Yes.
Show me a dial.
You're like
I'm
you're
all over
smart,
it.
but you're smart in like an ancient Rome way. I don't think that's gonna help in a plane.
No, not unless it's an ancient Roman plane.
Well, of course, when Pompey was ridding the Mediterranean of pirates,
Yeah.
it recalls to me.
Be one of those those planes from like an Asterisk comic where it's like made of sort of paper stretched over wood, but it looks like a 747.
Yeah.
Oh, this is how we all go on holiday now. Like
Wait,
Flintstone
actually,
shit.
I'm gonna throw this out. Dave, thank you very much, is DJing now.
Yeah.
So you know how to operate a big sort of panel.
Yeah.
I love that we're equating pilots and DJs.
Yeah.
I think
easy.
there's never been such a wide skill disparity. I think it's just like
It's called
imagine
transferable skills, Milo.
if
Button's a button.
all the posh guys who had a go at DJing
Yeah.
were having a go at commercial piloting. Would be a very different world we'd be
Tiesto
living in.
Air.
Get out of the way. I'm a DJ, damn it.
Yeah. I can see
Is there a
David,
DJ on this plane?
Yeah.
Spin it back, spin it back, spin it back.
David timing this anthemic drop to the plane just crashing into a mountain.
Someone put a party in the USA. Come on. We're on this.
Shouts out to his family. Plane crash.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of smart, eh? I'm the kind of smart where, like, I know what food I can eat that's been left over at the food court and won't get sick. That's the kind of smart I am.
That's a pretty practical, valuable kind of smart.
Yeah.
Scavenger smart.
But
Yeah.
Flight Simulator, I've tried to land a
go.
plane in Queenstown before. It's very hard. Very
Wait,
hard.
how can I ask more about how you're learning to be a DJ? Is it self-taught? Is it YouTube videos? Where are we starting?
Oh, so I'm doing it like comedy, right? You know how like when you're first starting in comedy, you get better by hanging out with better comics and you kind of learn from them. So I'm just I've been going to raves and becoming friends with DJs that I like, and then I just hang out with them and I kind of like give them. Oh, should I say?
You're living the life of a 21-year-old girl.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so sick. It's so sick. Doing it at 32 is the best time to
You're
do
blowing your way to the top.
Oh,
of
yeah.
being a DJ.
it. You know what I mean? So I can scull a Coca-Cola really quick too. 'Cause all this shit is dead. Sorry. This is why I don't like to
No, no.
Can I just laugh? Can I just laugh?
Keep it
at
up.
everything?
Keep it up.
Yeah. The key to being a great DJ is
High
no
st-
gag reflex.
Yeah.
Like when people give you advice that only worked in their particular career
Yeah.
circumstances, when
Yeah.
boomers are like, "Oh well, I just handed out my CV at the local store, and then now I'm a millionaire."
Have
And it's
you-
like that.
yeah.
You're just like, to be a great DJ, you've got to have no gag reflex.
Yes, you start with a clothes
it-
hanger and then
Yeah.
you get a chunky cock down your throat. Oh my god.
So you pivoting away from comedy, would you say?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so sick. My gag rate has come down, but the music has come up, and it's so sick.
No gag reflex means you've got less jokes in your shows as well.
My timing's off. I think it's my gag reflex.
It's a devastating critique of a comedian. He's got actually no gag reflex. Terrible.
All these really obvious setups just flying right by.
Oh no.
You're like trying to pull a cock out of your mouth to get a punchline out.
Oh, that's why I should have done a reverse. Fuck.
You should see this guy do crowd work. People are left speechless.
Are you still doing stunts though? I feel like your hallmarks of your shows are like fun little stunts.
Yeah, so I think the stunts now was like I'm doing everything earnestly. So I'm trying to earnestly learn how to hypnotize people, and I'm trying to like get it. Because my theory is if I can get the beats down on it and fuck it up, one day I'll get comfortable enough to actually do it. And I'm waiting for that one day I actually hypnotize someone. I think it's gonna be a sick show.
Yeah, I've seen the show, and you do a hypnosis bit towards the start, and while I'm proud to say it didn't work on me. I did think the gravitas you brought to it. I thought I'm buying into the world in which it's possible that you could get someone under.
Yeah.
Are you doing mass hypnosis or are you choosing an individual?
I'm learning how to pre-frame, so I'm learning how to like get people into the right mindset to be hypnotized, and I'm trying to learn
That's
how
what
to do the
you got on
induction
me,
as well.
and
you
then
got that?
yeah.
You felt primed?
Yeah, I was just like, there was a few things happening. I was proud of my friend. And then I was also like, damn, he's really having a go at this. So Like, he's always been so fucking deferential and wheezy. Oh, Mr. Guy, Mr. Guy. And then all of a sudden he's like, you're feeling tired. And you've got a big hard cock.
Is that why you've been hanging out and sucking off all those hypnotists?
You know it, bro. I gotta get it. And then once you're telling me that I'm sleeping, I'm like, this drink feels gritty, eh?
So your interests are now intersecting with some of society's greatest sex pests. You're like all the DJs and hypnotists.
DJs, hypnotists,
Comedians.
part-time swimming instructors, any of the dodgiest jobs, any of the itinerant tutors.
BBC Children's presenters.
I'm trying to do kid shows.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I think I've pricked every creepy art form that there is, and I'm trying because I think that's the funniest place, right? Like no one wants to touch it.
Are you in
So
the
I'm
magic
like-
space?
Yeah,
at
I'm
all?
doing magic as well.
I believe that.
Yeah,
What a
every
fucked
single-
business card. Comedian, DJ, hypnotist, magician.
Just red flag after red flag.
You're showing it to the cabin to try and get in to land the plane. You're like, I think you'll find I've got a few skills here. I'm
I
one
can
of these-
convince someone else on the plane that they can land it.
Hey,
It's all about confidence.
I heard that when it comes to landing a plane, it's mainly the safety stuff, right? I heard that like actually landing the plane's quite easy. It's about like a lot of the hours in is like how do you not
By safety
crash
stuff,
it?
do you mean not everyone dies? It's really easy to get it on the floor again.
Getting a plane on the ground is one of the easiest things you
It
can
won't
do.
stay up there forever, guys.
You can just wait till you run out of fuel.
Then it lands itself. You die, but you land.
As long as there's no big wall on the runway, you're all good.
Funny how there's only two. It's just you land or it crashes. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
There's a Miracle on the Hudson. That's the third option.
That was Tom Hanks did that, right?
Yeah. Where you put it on the
Thank
monitor.
God
They
he
call
was
you
on
a
that plane
hero
and
even
not
though you
Shaq.
failed at your job.
Mm-hmm.
It's about landing it like that, eh? Like I feel like if you're trying to land it like this, that's where the
That's-
problem
that's
is.
Yeah, I
But if
think
you kinda go
parallel
like-
to the ground is generally amongst pilots agreed
You
upon
gotta be
as the
doing this. You
preferred.
gotta be pulling the thing towards you. That's what I'm
Yeah.
imagining.
Parallel with the ground, but not forever.
Yeah.
You'll just hit a
You
building.
really
you
think
know-
of someone trying to watch this for instructions on how to land a plane. Like you were really earnestly trying to be like, well, this is how you do it, I reckon.
Well, it's like those YouTube how-to videos, so it's like most skip to bit, and you're like skip. Okay, now they're talking about sucking off hypnotist. Back. I skip past the instructions. Fuck. Just desperately trying to find.
Hours and hours in the cock simulator. Why do you think they call it the cockpit? Sucking off
'Cause I'm
hypnotists for
there.
years before they let me in the cockpit of an Airbus.
Okay, if a plane is crashing into the ocean, right? My plan, because I think what would happen is if you're going into the ocean, right, you wanna like the thing that'll crash the plane is colliding with the water and the pressure.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you want to just open both doors on each end so that when it crashes in, you got the air coming out at the same time? Will that stop it from?
That's why
Crumpling
when a
together?
car submerges underwater, they tell you to put down the windows, right?
Yeah, so if I'm landing the
Equalize
plane,
the
I'm
pressure.
opening the doors and I'm letting it just land so that it kind of gets, so it doesn't push against the ocean. It just kind
Yeah.
of goes into the ocean and then you just swim up, right?
Sounds good.
The problem is that water at that speed is the same as concrete, right? Because of how much you're hitting it. with
Yeah.
force.
That's why belly flops hurt.
In my head, I
Yeah.
always thought I would like jump. I'd stand on the seat,
Yeah.
and just before it hit, I would jump up.
Yeah.
You know, like in my head, I still think
Yeah.
And
that's
you've just.
But you know, because
perfect
of the
timing.
G's, I assume you'd hit the water pretty hard.
Looney Tunes style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
To preserve momentum.
Yeah.
Also, the cone, the nose cone of the plane it feels like it should be solid like a bullet or something, but it's not. It's filled with sort of radar.
It's a
and-
fontanelle.
yeah, it's a fontanelle. It's the plane's fontanelle.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. It's filled with like delicate radar things, and like it just crumples. You know, like it's no help.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon it should fall apart and then have like a chisel function, you know, so it's like real sharp, so then you can kind of cut through the water. Or is
Yeah.
Does that work?
Chisel
Really-
function.
a really
yeah, so you know, like
sharp
so like
blade.
if you know you're about to crash, right, you want like the whole bit of it to kind of pull out, so
Yeah.
then it has a chisel underneath it, and then you can cut through the water.
To
Would that
turn
stop
into
the
a
concrete?
parachute, almost.
No, it comes off.
Yeah.
The whole front comes off, and then underneath you got like a knife, like a blade, and let that
Oh.
blade through the water and
Yeah,
cut
yeah,
through
yeah.
the concrete.
Get as deep as possible. Get
And
nice,
then you got a new problem to solve.
nice and
Blades
deep where it's safe. The opposite of the sky is what we're after. Under the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed in the Marianas Trench. Outside temperature is minus 300.
But we're all good.
Pressure is extremely high.
That's why they say don't inflate your life jacket before you're out in a water landing, because then if the water floods in and you got your life jacket on, you're like floating pinned to the roof of the
Oh no.
plane.
Damn.
And you can't swim out because you're wearing a fucking giant bubble.
God, that would suck.
Yeah. So they only like this. So no one ever tries to land on water. Like the Miracle on the Hudson was like it's almost never happened. And of the incredibly tiny number of times it's happened, it's never worked.
But it's the
always gone
only thing they
incredibly
teach you about
badly.
on the plane.
I know, yeah.
That's crazy.
They're so worried about it, but it never happens. And when it happens, mainly you just explode. And like the one time it happened and they were like, all right, inflate. It was bad, yeah. So
When
they
we were
like,
like,
oh,
I can't wear heels.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I know.
Even I remember that. So
You can't be cunty in a plane landing. That's one of the main rules. Don't upstage the pilots. They get very upset. They're like, right, I'm turning this plane around. We're going to the bottom of the ocean now.
we're flying 120 drag queens to a cabaret festival. We're lucky to make it out of here alive. These slides are popping. They're gonna pop these slides immediately.
The Cock Destroyer's destroyed more than Cock on this occasion. Okay. I have a real beef with like the airplane safety instructions because like every time it's like because usually on planes they just let you ignore them, and I've been on so many planes.
Yeah.
But then sometimes they'll be like, "You have to watch this. What if we crash land in the ocean?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I can answer that one. We fucking die."
We explode into 1,000 pieces.
Yeah.
And then like 7 people make it at best.
Yeah.
It is crazy though. You never know if the steward's going to be like,
Strict or not.
yeah,
Yeah.
if they're going to be like, no, it's all good. You can keep reading or whatever. If they're going to be like,
Yeah. Hey, take those headphones out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a
then
power
it's-
thing, right?
And it's all just the same. They've made no improvements to plane safety in 40 years. They've just got higher production value and more distracting ways of being
Sometimes
like.
they'll put celebrities in the little video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like all
Yeah.
the shit's identical to what it's always been. It's like, wear a seatbelt, wear a life jacket. Good luck.
I
Good
flew
luck.
out.
You'll need it. Yeah.
I flew out with Singapore Airlines, and they've tried to. There's like this compulsory video where if you accidentally leave your little provided headphones in, it comes in at fucking a trillion decibels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they've tried to be clever where the safety video is like not actually in a plane. Actually, it's actually quite clever.
Yeah.
It's like the bit where they say, "Oh, adopt the brace position." It's someone like on a lovely bench in Singapore
This
in a
is-
park.
This is
And you're
it's
just
just
like, I don't-
our fault. Air New Zealand were pioneers of the sort of irreverent outside of the plane safety video. Where they've got like a chair on a beach, and they're like,
Is that where
brace-
Flight of the Conchords comes from?
Yes. Yeah.
You're just too goddamn down to earth.
Yeah, and I think they've become like a great source of national pride,
Yes.
and then they've become so ubiquitous and popular that they're now a source of national frustration.
It's like the John Lewis ad in the UK.
Yeah.
The Malaysian airline safety video is like a music video. It's
What?
like a song and dance number. I
Yeah.
remember because I'd not flown on Malaysian Airlines in a couple of years, and then it came on. I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember this shit." It's like sort of like K-pop aesthetic, like when
Damn.
it's like, and it's like it's clearly on a film set, but it's like a fake plane, and then sometimes they'll cut
Yeah.
away and you'll see like the whole set, and
that's
it's all like dancing,
fun.
and it's like remember to fasten the seatbelt. It's like a choreograph.
Yeah.
Oh
like, it's-
no, Hamilton Air Safety.
There was one.
Yeah.
There was one in New Zealand that was a rap that was got so much pushback that they actually withdrew it from playing, from circulating.
They had
Yes.
to bring back one from like 3 years ago. We're like,
Yeah,
oh no,
yeah.
that was not a good move.
What was the? Do you remember any of the rap?
No, it was. I think it was a rapper, maybe the All Blacks, like
Yeah.
our national rugby team,
Yeah.
and they would. I don't know.
They were
I
like-
mean, that you're
were
throwing a
chanting
lot of
safety
ideas out there,
instructions.
but it's always crazy because they gouge you with prices so hard, and then you're spending $1 million on a safety.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
seems
So real.
so irritating.
Sometimes.
Like, can you stop spending all this money on these
Yeah,
shitty
and also-
movies that no one wants to watch?
The safety hacker performed by the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Also, like the more interesting you make this film, the less safe it is.
yeah,
Definitely.
They should have like, I reckon like rotation 6 different flight things. Because I feel like once you've seen one, you're like, I don't want to see this again. But if they had like 6 rotating, I'd be like, okay.
Then
well,
you'd
if-
want to collect them all.
Yeah, you want to see
yeah.
all the ads.
Make the ending different in each one, so you watch to the end because you're like, what's gonna
There's a
happen
clue
now?
for a
M.
solution
Night
of
Shyamalan's
a
airline
mystery.
safety. Yeah.
Do they have to thread a real needle though, because it's like on the films and stuff, on the long flights, they cut out bits that are to do with air crashes and stuff from films that have them.
Wait, really?
Sometimes, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Holy
so
shit.
not to fuck with passengers psychologically, not to create any panic.
If you watch the TV series Yellow Jackets on a plane, they just start.
They're just on an island.
It's like, what is going on?
It makes Lost incredibly confusing.
They keep bleeping this word.
Yeah.
Ever since the crash.
Stock
what?
market?
Stock market.
Is that why we're all out in the wild?
Mood. But like, it's difficult because if you really wanted people to pay attention, you would edit it to be like a fucking true crime documentary. It's like they thought they were safe on the plane, and like crash, black and white zoom on like an eye, like horrifying. But then all the people who were afraid of flying would start fucking shitting it, and then you would cause a problem on the other end of the scale. So they're trying to be as telling you how to survive a deadly crash as possible, while making sure you feel like it's silly.
That you're engaged. I'm just realizing now, I think the biggest advent in airline safety is that you're not allowed to vape.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing that's changed. You used to be allowed to, I guess there was a glorious window where you weren't allowed to smoke, but you were technically allowed to vape.
Yeah,
because
vaping
it hadn't
wasn't a
occurred to
thing
them
yet.
yet?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So they just go, it's actually vapor, not to smoke. And like all air stewards respect
A loophole.
pedantry. Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
Ben Sutton, Charlie Dinkins' boyfriend, he went on, I don't know why I need to specify by name and last name who did this, but he went
important
on
for
a
me.
fear of flying course that's provided by British Airways in Terminal 5. And it is the most nuts thing I've ever heard. So basically, it's a whole day of people coming in and lecturing. And like, it'll be like a physicist who's like, this is how a plane flies. This is what turbulence is. You're in jello, whatever.
Motivational speaker who's like, was Muhammad Atta afraid of flying? No.
And then at the end of it, they take a flight to nowhere. So they take off, do a little circle, and they take back. And then like they apply everything they've learned that day.
Damn.
And apparently people were still freaking out, crying and screaming.
Really?
And they
Of
learned
course.
nothing.
And then more information.
But then
Yeah.
he said that the thing that made him not scared was once he just took the flight to nowhere, he was like, well, I'm not these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing that clicked for him, where it's like, I'm
And
just
then, but
internally screaming.
all of the actual scare guy, David Correos, comes out and it's like, you're not scared? Yeah. Dick's out, you're not scared about this anymore.
Let's go. Let's check out that mountain.
Who's got a hard car? Listen to this drop.
Maybe they were all actors.
Yeah, can you imagine if that's really the end game is to just have the scared people feel normal?
Yeah, and feel better than someone who's really embarrassingly scared.
Yeah.
That's where your pride comes from.
You and I were talking about this the other day, like tests where the surface level of the test isn't really the test. Like how like captures on the internet. It's not really about clicking on the traffic lights, it's about how you move the cursor and stuff.
Yeah.
And like that, but for like fear of flying, where like you think the fear of flying course is all the lectures, but actually they're just a bunch of actors are acting completely insane. And you're like, well, I can't be like this. There's a guy sucking everyone off. I need to get out of here. I'll take any flight.
Yeah.
A similar thing is spam emails that are like clearly spam. It's a filter to see how gullible you are, because if you're gullible enough to click, you're gullible enough to then
I've
be
heard
tricked.
this.
Yeah.
Really?
I've heard
Yeah.
this.
So it's like they're bad on purpose, because if you're like actually discerning, then you're going to be hard to manipulate later down the line.
And it's a waste of their time.
Yeah. So they're getting just the grandmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting just people who haven't heard about like the Nigerian general
Exactly.
moving his money kind of thing.
What do you mean?
So, you're talking to that guy as well?
Guy, I'll talk to you after.
That's crazy. What are the chances?
How many generals is Nigeria got?
That's what I thought.
You wouldn't think being in the Nigerian army would be that well paid. But
I don't save phone numbers on my phone, and so every time, I don't know if you guys are getting like all these scam
No. You can't accelerate through the most fucking
No,
insane
but
thing a person has said and then be like, here's
no.
the consequence of my action. Why wouldn't you save phone numbers?
Yeah, I don't
Because
save
everyone's first name is Mister.
So much scrolling.
I go off vibes. I go off vibes of like I know roughly when the last person kind of messaged me, and I just think like texting is so obsolete.
Did
to
you
me.
know whose podcast this is going to be today?
No, whose podcast?
Well,
That's why I love Instagram. Instagram because they got a profile picture. You know, I'm profile picture focused. Like I'm like,
if
I can
only you
recognize
could
the
have
fame.
profile pictures somehow of phone
Yeah.
numbers. I like that you said like I don't save phone numbers, and
But
you said that as if we're all going to
continue,
go
though.
like
So
that's like saying I'm
you're-
vegetarian.
yeah.
You're getting like spam in amongst people.
Yeah, people are like calling me and stuff, and I'm like, "Is it a job?" And then I'll be like, "You need to connect to this voicemail and see it." Are you getting these?
No.
Like, on your.
I get loads in Australia. As soon as I get an Australian number, I get like 400 scam texts.
Really?
a day. And they're like incredibly obvious. Because in the UK, you get one every now and then, and it's always like a bit tricksy. Like, oh, it's Royal Mail. You've got a parcel to collect. Like, but the ones here are always like, do you need the secret to win at the
Typical
pokies?
colonial mindset, coming in here talking shit about the scam artists in the country. Back home, I think you'll find it pretty well written.
Yeah.
Yeah, these fucking pirates down here
Yeah,
got no idea how to scam me.
They're too busy being a big scam artist and a small scam con. That's their problem.
Yeah, that's right.
No
Yeah,
big
that's right.
dreams.
That's why all the scam artists here are trying to move to Europe or America. Trying to hit the big time.
To New Zealand, this is the big time. We're like, if I can just get one scam off the ground in Australia, it's like 4 times more people. Who knows what I'm capable of?
I've been on New Zealand Scam Master. I'm on the Australian version.
I, for ages, got these weird Instagram adverts, and now they went away for about a year or two, and now they're back. I don't know if you've ever seen them, about like a completely fictional game. Definitely doesn't exist. About crooks and mafia and stuff.
Oh, wow.
You ever seen this?
No.
It's so hard to explain.
Wait, it's a video game? Or?
Is this the level 99 boss moth boss one?
He's got it.
Wait, what?
That's exactly. Thank you. Yes, I'm not insane.
Wait, it's a game that doesn't exist.
Well, so like it's you know when a game advert is like it's definitely not what the game looks like,
Yes.
and it's basically like a movie, and you're like, well, that's not the fucking mobile game, is it?
Right.
And it's like a bunch of people with like level 99 crook and stuff walking around, and like level 1 mob boss, and it's like some kind of weird like RPG crime simulator. But then they're making the 3D avatars in this like Pixar style movie, like slap each other and cover each other in mud and fart on each other and shit. And you're like,
I know
what the
exactly.
fuck?
I get the similar ones, but it's about like women cheating on each other
Yes,
and
I've seen those as
pregnant
well.
and pooping and all that stuff. Yeah.
What
And
is
what,
that?
what happens if you click on them?
I have never dared.
Oh, so I have. So I'm like, yeah, the game's it's always a word game. It's always like, they're always like, look, here's this amazing game that you're kind of like walking down a path and you're leveling up and stuff. And then every time you download it, it's always some word or number game or kind of like connect the colors together.
Like,
It's never,
by the time you install it, all of your data is gone.
Yeah.
But they can't steal any of your contacts, to be fair.
I don't know what to do with any of it.
They're barking up the wrong tree.
But
with
I
this
do
guy.
keep all my
They're
credit
getting
card
connected
details
to
on my
other
notes app.
scammers.
Do we have to worry about the data thing? It feels like it's the horse is bolted, right? Like everyone's got everything now.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's the thing of like you want to keep it in the kind of hands of the responsible mafia, as it were, like the big private companies that, in theory, will just be using it to try and sell you ever more accurate things.
But if you reuse your passwords, that's a bad idea. Also, I have to
You
say
know
this.
about this.
I do. I apologize. I have to be
I reuse
boring
my
about this.
passwords.
You know why that's bad, right?
No.
If you use the same password, this is what happens. You use it on a random website, that data gets leaked.
Yes.
All a scammer has to do is take that password and try and use it in every other login. And if you have that same password for
Yeah.
Google that you did for, I don't know, sexyposters.com.nz,
Yeah.
then all they have to do is just lift that password and use it in Google and they're in.
But I don't
Yeah.
want to have to change all my passwords.
I know.
Yeah, but they can't keep up with how many capitals and lower cases I'm just switching in and out
Oh, okay,
between.
sure. As long as you're keeping up with them in your own brain.
Oh, I'm not. I've been locked out of heaps of shit.
I'm resetting my password every single
about-
time because I keep forgetting.
I'm
it,
giving I'm giving out my email address in my show at the moment. Is that bad?
it's fine. I think I think that's fine.
That's
It
funny.
doesn't make it easier to dox me or anything, does it?
No, I don't think so.
What's to what end?
I'm just talking about the devaluation of email addresses and how they
Yes.
were exciting and now they're worth nothing.
What was
And
your
then
first ever email address?
Guys a legend with a Z at
Fuck yeah.
hotmail.com.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Pretty good.
Fuck
I
yeah.
actually had a theory that your first tattoo should be, is for one specific generation, your first tattoo should be your first email address.
I love
Like
that.
for our generation who are coming up with kooky or funny handles or whatever, to give you an idea of permanence and how tastes change and stuff. And like before you get a tattoo,
Yeah.
you should get whatever your first email address was. And then if you feel good about that, then it's like, yeah, get a tattoo by all means. But if you're like, oh, this sucks, then
That's your lesson.
Guys are legend.
Yeah.
Right? What will yours be?
Yeah. Oh, I think my first email was very boring. I think it was like Milo134 at Hotmail.
It was all Hotmail. It's so unsettling when sometimes you go on like a website to. The other day, I tried to do stand up about this. It didn't work. I bought a custom mattress. Right, I'm incredibly heavy, so I was in this situation where I'd created a kind of ass divot in my own mattress.
You're seeing like the Tim Westwood of mattresses.
Yeah.
Yo, dog, we know you're heavy. We've reinforced it. There's a fish tank in the end.
Yeah. So like, because I'm so heavy, this dip had developed where I was sleeping in like this
Because of dead ass.
coffin because of my my junk that I keep in my.
No, he sleeps on his stomach, so it's actually a bald cock and ball.
Yeah.
divot.
It's
yeah.
It's like a death mask of a dick and balls. It's perfect. You could take a perfect sleeping dick and balls mold from the bed if you just poured copper.
It looks like Grover fell asleep after filleting you every night.
It's like Grover's died. Grover's like a Victorian person who's died, and so they've done a big plaster death mask of Grover. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was waking up in this like coffin, of memory foam. Terrible. So I thought I need to get like a bed for big fuckers, like giant heavy bed.
Johnny Big.
Yeah, what's a website? What's a company that does that?
Well, it's a company in like East Anglia, which in England is like a very rural part, and it was based near King's Lyn. Like,
is it for people and or horses?
But this is like, I found the website and they're like, we cater to them all. Asylums, children's homes, hospitals.
Asylums.
Like it was a list of like establishments for very specific situations.
Where the biggest lads are found.
Yeah. All the heaviest
Farm labourers bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Secret sex dungeon. We cater to them all.
The weird hotel all the world's strongmen live in together.
Official mattress supplier to world's strongest man.
Yeah, with the world's strongest toilets. With all that protein.
God,
Absolutely denting porcelain every day. Those fucking guys.
Yeah, like fucking Eddie, what's his face, advertising toilets. Like, I eat 4 whole chickens a day, and this toilet withstands.
Something about the turn of phrase
punishment.
denting porcelain is so powerful.
Like without cracking it, just causing it to deform.
Dent it, like a ding you pick up on a car.
Yeah.
Got those guys coming and they're like pulling the dents out of your toilet.
The little
vacuum thing.
plunger thing.
Yeah.
That's why the plunger's there.
So this website was for like places of business, and then right at the end of the list, and they were like, "And you're gonna buy one on your own as well."
And I guess if you're a freak,
if
you
you're
can buy
some
one
weirdo,
for you. Yeah.
we'll sell you one mattress instead of 100, obviously. And
So you're like, I'm not a weirdo. Yeah, I've got 100 of these custom mattresses. The whole house is mattresses.
It's actually the cheapest way to build a house in the UK.
Well, then it is like an asylum.
Reinforced
Big boys padded cell.
just fucking running at the wall.
That's a great house for a comedian. Comedian hype house, entirely mattress padded. Everyone can have all the mental health they want. Beautiful.
And great for slapstick.
David's hypnotizing everyone.
But then I was scrolling, I was like, okay, great. Because it turns out most mattresses have like a maximum expected weight per sleeper. This is a thing I know now, thanks to trying to figure it out, what to do.
Like elevators.
Yeah.
The mattress is doing like guess the beans in a jar. What weight am I expecting here?
That's it. And it turned out I was heavier than what mattress companies expect a person to weigh.
Dang.
So I had to get this.
They should broaden their horizons.
I know, yeah.
You're not that big.
I'm very heavy though, very dense.
You're like a big guy, but I mean, there are much bigger guys out there.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing?
Sometimes they weigh less than me though.
You're
But do you mean bigger, fatter, or bigger like?
Well, just in every direction. Like, I've met like Fijian rugby players. Like,
yeah.
real tonk motherfuckers. You know? They've got to be. They've got to be sleeping on something.
You got their phone numbers or?
I've told this story on the pod. I feel like when I met the Fijian rugby player, and my ex, she used to have. She had all these kind of like cool, hot, like art world friends, and as a result, they all had kind of like interesting boyfriends. And then one of them, she was going out with this like Fijian rugby player who'd moved to Wales to play for some Welsh team.
Oh yeah.
And then she was having a party, and all of her like girlfriends were coming around. They were all bringing their boyfriends, right? And kind of everyone had arrived except this girl and the Fijian guy. And then she's going like, yeah. It's really like a bunch of the girls going like, yeah, it's really annoying. Like all the men always like really like him just because he's so big. And I'm like, that seems like a fair justification to me. And then I'd just been like doing coke in the toilet. And then I come out and this guy has arrived. And I immediately come up to this guy, the most like in peak, like fucking, I'm going to talk to this fucking guy. And then we're like fucking getting into it about Fiji. And then he goes like, oh, actually in Fiji, it used to be like a cannibal culture. And then I slapped him on the arm and went, well, there's so much meat on you. And he went, and it's the best I've ever felt. I've been chasing that thrill my whole life.
Slapping an arm so firm that it just like, fuck, I just hurts your hand. Like,
Oh, it's incredible. I know, it's just so large.
yeah, like fridges, man.
Yeah, he was probably only like 6'4", but just every direction. Just
like Minecraft, like cube.
Do you guys notice that your fingers aren't as like thick as your dad's fingers? You guys
Yes,
getting that?
big time.
You get that? You feel like
My dad's always like, I can barely feel that, boy.
Yeah.
I just feel like my hands are like.
Yeah, I've always thought my arms would come in, but
Yeah, they
I've
haven't,
still got
eh?
a boy's arms.
I haven't used enough hammers to get that real circumference on my fingers, eh?
Yeah, and there's like terrifying like death thumb strength. You'd see like a thumb that could just.
You've got forearms that look like you could crush shit.
Yeah?
Yeah, real.
you.
You got dense. You look dense.
I've got quite.
Male body image issues are fascinating.
Yeah.
What you want is.
I feel like I'm in a freaking zoo.
I really know what David's talking about, though.
Yeah.
Our generation, guys are much more likely to be ripped, but they're much less likely to look like a man. Like there's like the certain kind of guy who's been turning a screwdriver since he was 14 years old,
Yeah.
and they've got these wrists that you can't get them any other way. I don't care how many weights you lift.
They're almost like Popeye forearms. If it's a guy who's been doing building work, or whatever, like you say, since he was a
There's
teenager.
a reason they're not drawing cartoons with Popeye's dimensions anymore. It's just, you just don't see them in society.
People are just so skeptical now.
Yeah.
Popeye skepticism has reached its height.
Yeah. Popeye would work in digital marketing now.
Popeye is a vegan icon.
He loves spinach.
He loves spinach.
Oh, I was going to say, this fucking mattress company, the email was a Hotmail email. That's what
Oh
made me
my
call
God.
I know, it was so unsettling. It's like, I'm getting a mattress from a website that like doesn't have a mobile version.
Like early internet vibes. They survived the .com bubble.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
crazy. Are you
There's-
happy with the product?
Yeah, it's like a reinforced, it's like sleeping on a kind of very, I guess like the earth. Like it's not as hard as concrete, but it's pretty hard. It's great.
Sounds average.
I'm pretty. No, but I get that. I'm pretty heavy too. And like when I sleep on the floor, it feels nicer because there's less kind of like forced kind of move.
Yeah.
When I'm in a bouncy mattress, I feel like the whole mattress moves because there's so much weight being distributed in one go.
Shifting,
Yeah, but like if I sleep on a floor, I'm like I've got something kind of push off. I don't know if it's like a weight thing.
I think that's it, man.
Oh, this is like Big Boy's Corner, right?
This
Yeah,
is beautiful. This is fucking
Yeah,
beautiful.
bro.
Wait, what are your emails?
The first
email.
one,
First emails?
it was some variation of my name. Like obviously it's never taken because my name
Right.
is mad at hotmail.co.uk, I think.
Damn.
I
Okay.
know. I know. I was patriotic. This is a British Hotmail.
Not one of those American novellas.
Every
Queen's Hotmail.
every email is like it's a client thing where it edits every email to be written like "Dear Sir."
In Gothic font. Yeah.
One
prefers hotmail.co.uk.
Yeah, I remain forever your trusted and humble servant. Edit to every email.
What did you have, David? Because
My-
you were younger than. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh no, you would have been getting in on emails when you're dicking around with funny words.
Oh, dude, mine is not as unsurprising, eh? Mine was poo-poo-jam at hotmail.com.
There you go. That's the sort of tattoo I'm talking about.
Oh man.
But
Thing is,
David
you
would
could
get
still
that
have one,
tattoo.
Yeah, I would.
Poo-poo
yeah.
jam is so you.
Get it right
Poo-poo
out of my
jam is-
forehead, eh?
Yeah.
Can you remember the thought process behind Poo Poo Jam?
I think I was like 7 and I was
Yeah.
like, this is crack up. Like,
It
I'm not
is.
going to beat this shit.
Who are you emailing at 7?
His
My
MP.
sister. Emailing
Dear
my
Mr.
sister.
Mattress.
What did you have, Olga?
So cool, Olga.
Yes.
At mail.ru. Thank you very
Jeez.
much.
Oh, wow.
Supporting a Russian
Yeah.
provider.
Is
Still
mail.
going.
Are you still running?
I think it might be.
It is still going, yeah.
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
for-
I think
forgot
it's
that-
like the main email
I feel
provider.
like I've
Maybe
told this-
Yandex is bigger, actually.
Yeah, but I feel like I've told this on the podcast before. I can't log into it, and I'm partially happy. I'm sure that it's gone now at this point. But one time when I was 11 at an English immersive program, I fell in love with a Maltese camp counselor who was 21. And I spent about 6 months of my life emailing him saying that age is just a number. So,
Holy moly.
Wow.
So I'm
Did
so
you?
Yeah.
You were like
From so cool. Old
Imagine
man.
needing to tell a Mediterranean man that age is just a number. It's got to be the part of Europe that's loosest on the age of consent.
Did you keep replying, going, I know?
It's like,
Stop
"Oh, I
telling
don't
me
want-
this.
I don't not want to fuck you because you're a child. You're just not my child.
I'm sure you were a very hot child.
How old were you when you were trying to get this man imprisoned? Oh my god. That
Trying
is
to get this man in prison is such a great way of putting it.
just trying to ruin this guy's life. I would be
I'm just filling his inbox with evidence.
absolutely terrifying. You're just like, oh, after I finish uni, I think I'm going to teach some kids how to fuck. And then a year later, fuck, delete.
I'm amazed that it is sus that he was emailing back at all.
He wasn't. What are you talking about?
Oh, you were. I don't know.
I was
no.
cold emailing.
Cold emails.
And
No, I was just
replying
like-
to your emails or
I-
new emails?
A new email.
Just you keep writing new email, fresh
Yeah.
emails. Age is just number.
I
age
don't want
is
to
just number.
incriminate Kevin from Malta. He did nothing wrong.
That's the least Maltese name I've ever heard in my
Kevin
life.
from Malta. Wow, what a name.
Damn.
You really buried the lead with Kevin from Malta.
What you should have done is you should have made the email deliberately badly spelled to get the more gullible nonces. They'll it's about filtering people.
God, imagine getting nonced and the guy can't even help you with your homework. He's like, no, I was never any good at this. Sorry. That's probably actually what led me down this kind of dark path that I've taken in life. I just always felt a bit outcast from society. I wouldn't take any advice from me.
Just losing all respect.
I can barely afford this McDonald's.
Oh my god.
Nonce that you feel sorry for.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
kid's
Just
like, oh,
down
I'll
on
be
their
all right.
luck, laying it all out.
just having a full breakdown at the least.
Oh man.
Kids are just a cheaper date.
Oh my god. Can I ask a comedy? I'm going to change the subject real quick.
Noncing for financial reasons. Is that that's the excuse you give?
They're easily impressed. Wait,
It's
oh,
crazy
fucking
because
crunchy?
nonce is British, so
Yeah.
nonce is not down here, and it's one of the most softening words
Yeah,
for like
bro.
one of the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
dastardly. You know, it's like noncing for budgetary reasons. It's like
Da-
that sounds palatable enough.
Dastardly's a really funny.
I thought nonce was like up there with twate, so I didn't know.
You can-
I thought you can call people like
You can use it
fucking
like
nonce.
you can use it just like a casual
You
insult.
should
but
no,
it's-
that's crazy.
it's
there
risky,
needs to be
yeah.
delineate. You know,
But you can't say pedo as a
you
casual
can't. No,
insult.
you can't.
Yeah, you can't be
You
like,
can't.
come on, you
oh,
old
you're being
pedo.
an you're being a pedo. It's like such a different put.
That's such a type of like British lad though that will say pedo as like a casual insult.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
it really unnerves people who aren't from those circles.
Yeah.
Of course.
Including me. Like I have like one friend like that, and every time I hang out with him, I'm like, oh, I forget that like.
Well,
Yeah.
similar, I guess, with cunt in some contexts in America, calling someone a cunt. I mean,
Yeah.
now it's softening, but
Yeah.
10 years ago, it would be like,
Yeah.
"Huh?"
It's tone. Cunt is all tone, eh? You gotta be
Yeah.
like can't or shut
Yeah,
up, cunt.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't.
yeah,
yeah.
You can't hit them hard with. The
I think
emphasis.
it's a word of incredible versatility in Australia. I like beginning a sentence with cunt. I think that's a real Australian invention.
Yeah.
Just I think that's beautiful.
Use
Do you
it in a
guys?
sentence?
Do you guys?
Cunt, what are you talking about?
Oh, I love
Oh
that.
yeah.
Like
Like
To a
saying
friend.
bro. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Ah.
Do you guys say it in your show at all? Does anyone say it?
I said right at the end.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have
Just
cunt as a
quote-
punchline. It's a hard K. You can't not use it.
Yeah.
And it ends in a T. Yeah.
Come on, a hard
Cunt
K
in the
in
game.
comedy. A hard K in comedy. There's
What's
a,
that theory?
sorry,
Hard case sounds are funny.
Yeah, they are.
If you get like something kind of
Does fuck count?
yeah.
I guess so.
Because that's
Yeah,
hard,
yeah, yeah.
hard K
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah.
Cunt also has the T,
Yeah.
which is why it does. I think when Americans say it, sometimes it can't. Like it,
Can't.
they ruin it by not saying the T. Like when they say dentist instead of dentist.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis.
That's why they do all of that prohibition on it, because they know it doesn't go hard when they say it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
actually coming from a place of embarrassment.
It sounds like they're just saying
Yeah.
cun.
Gun. You, sir.
You are a cunt. It just
David
disappears.
brought up something very interesting, which I feel like I want to ask everybody here as a comedy nerd question.
Dad,
You said
dad finger size?
that the sorry what?
Huh? I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah. I'm
what was
trying
it?
to marry your dad, and I need to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like the least predictable thing for you as an art act to do is to do something earnest on stage,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
for you, that's the thing that you've been dreaming of and haven't been able to do.
Yeah.
What are yours?
Least.
Like something least Pierre Novelli branded thing to do on stage, but you secretly want to do like a Gallagher act.
Oh, that
and,
I
like,
want to do.
Yeah. Like you
Oh.
would want to smash a watermelon or do an accent or something.
The
Eat
least.
a poke bowl.
That's the least Pierre Novelli thing.
I think
to
that's
do.
the most disgusted I've ever seen you seen, and I've said
Just
a lot
on
of
stage
things that
into a
have upset
microphone
you.
would be horrible. No, I think that
musical comedy. I feel like that would be.
that would be bad. I don't want to do it, but like doing a really hyped up, high energy show would not.
Yo.
Yeah, coming out, what? Like really fucking.
Big bells and whistles at the start.
Yeah. Fucking lights spinning
Whiz
around. And stuff.
bang.
Yeah.
Dave
I don't want to,
DJing.
but that would be like the least.
drop.
Like, what? This is not what you do.
Is there
This
something that you like secretly want to do, but know that it's not on brand for you and people wouldn't understand?
like
This is
I-
a question for everybody.
real silliness? I think is quite. I'm trying to feed more silly things into my shows because when I do Bud Pod or whatever, and I would do the silly adverts and like silly parody, it's like little sketches and things. And I did
Yeah.
lots of sketch comedy at uni and for years, and I've never been able to transfer that flavor of silliness to stand up. I'm not quite sure how to do it while still being a stand up as opposed to suddenly becoming like a character actor.
Have you considered clown school?
But then I'd be a clown. And that's also different.
But that's the crazy thing is like we do this every day. Like we do shows all the time,
Yeah.
and it's like I find that if I'm not adding, I won't use my spare time to like learn a new skill. So I'm like
Yeah.
the hack is put the new skill into the show, and it forces you to do the
Yeah,
rest
it's genius.
for
Freaking
the
genius.
year, and it also makes you not.
I'm doing
bored.
my next show in a fucking spin studio. Let's go.
Yeah.
My next show is called Tax Return. It's all about all of Pierre's shows have been great the last few years. Tax return, hoovering.
Rudimentary Spanish.
That is a good show title.
I just call my mom for an hour.
But don't you guys get like bored of just like recalling the same shit like constantly? Like I feel like comedy is always like from the past. Like we're always like, oh yeah, this thing happened to me, and you kind of like talk
Or like
for a bit.
like telling them about it.
Yeah, it's always like from a place of like reflection. I feel like with the thing of like doing the DJing, it's like, oh, I'm getting from the forward and I'm bringing it back.
Yeah, I get the sense, Dave, that your shows are less like here's something that happened to me rather than like here's something I'm going to do to you
Yeah.
right now. Something's about to happen to you, cunt. And you don't even know it yet. I've got no gag reflex.
You nailed me, bro. Pin me down in there.
You're going to be talking about this in 5 years' time.
Here's something me happened to.
Yeah. So the business model is people pay to watch you learn a skill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the confidence to do that. I think, I just get the feeling I should, but it's different. I thought your show was the most beautiful. It was unbelievable. It was so good. But I can't, it's like, people buy a ticket, I'm like, yeah, you know what to
And yet I
expect.
can't remember it at all. I've been
Yeah.
telling everyone it was amazing.
I can't describe one thing that happened.
I just know it was perfect. And
Yeah.
everyone should go
Yeah.
see
I
it.
was so sleepy and I
Yeah.
have to kill the president.
Guy, what's yours? What's your
What
sort
would
of
it be?
forbidden fruit?
I don't know. I think I always just like doing I guess it would be props or something, or like
Hell
props
yeah.
or like sketchy or like costume changes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like part of the appeal, what always appealed to me about stand up and still is like I love that I can just show up as and where I am,
Yeah.
and I can just do it, and I don't have anything in my pockets or anything.
Yes.
I can just walk. I can walk in from the street and I can walk back out on the street in 1 hour, and I've been at work.
And
I
I've
find
done
that
it.
so gratifying and pleasing, and
Yeah.
so it turns me off of, I guess, introducing extra elements or layers
Yeah,
of
yeah,
complication or mess or
Faff
like
and prep.
because I'm like no. And I think inside of myself I always thought, well, that's just because this is a way to remove a certain element of work. It's like if you could just, but you are putting in the same amount of work to get sentences or paragraphs as interesting as someone who's got like a whole lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
But so I guess it would be to
When I
embrace
see
that.
someone with a PowerPoint, I'm like, coward. There are some exceptions to that, but it's so low effort. I'm like, come on, we can all be funny with fucking pictures.
Screens are everywhere. Yeah. So I think it would be like to embrace that, to make like a messy kind of, like a character show or a sketch, or just a show that would involve a lot more of me than just me describing things. Would be like, the frontier.
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
not.
That'll be a sick show. I would
love- so totally see that.
I did
Yeah.
it once. I did a Christmas show, my third ever show, and it was really out the gate. I'd seen a lot of Sam Campbell and stuff like that here, and like a lot of New Zealanders had a crazy show that year where everyone went back and was like, well, you can do anything. And then I was doing different characters, doing like these sheer tights with like a cock sock, and all my costume changes were on the top half.
Roy Borbelson. I remember was a character.
Christmas Carol was another one of the characters.
You made an eggnog with
I get
someone.
I get someone in the audience to make eggnog or something, and then one night I did it and it wasn't going well, and the person I gave the ingredients to make eggnog just started throwing eggs at me on stage, and I was like, no, it's not this.
It's not that silly. It's not a clown show. It's not a free for all.
Whereas if you were a trained clown, you'd be like, this is the ultimate.
I introduced this.
I'm so glad I created the moment where this person felt
Exactly.
able to egg me.
But so I went out there and I played around with it, and it was a fun thing that I'm glad to have done, but it's too far now.
Someone starts throwing eggs at you, and you see like the ghost of Philippe Gaulier appears next to you, like Ben Kenobi, and he's like,
nodding.
This is why I taught you to be racist or something. Now is the time.
Well, there's
Practice what we have learned.
with eggs being as expensive as they are, there's no risk of that anymore.
Yeah,
in
it's
case
true.
you-
Yeah,
in case
they'd
you
just
do.
be pocketing the eggs.
Free eggs.
Fleeing.
Have you guys ever done like an antithesis show, like a show that kind of like is just to like challenge yourselves? And
I think I'm too scared, but like it would be great for just like your creative process, I guess.
The thing I'd worry about if I was doing a character thing, or if I was locked into a persona or something like that, is that you can't, like in a situation like that, you can't do crowd work the same way.
Yeah. You can't
can't
break out of the confines of what you've built.
Because
Exactly.
you're Christmas Carol, so you have to do
Exactly.
crowd work as Christmas
But
Carol.
I mean, I always think that when, acts have like a voice, like they've recorded a voiceover that they play against or whatever. And I always think that's so bold, because I'm like, well, if it's going badly, it's like there's another 15 minutes of you interacting with this thing that people
my
are like,
God.
I'm always like, fuck.
Dude, I just went to ABBA Voyage, and in ABBA Voyage, the holograms of ABBA like interact with the audience, and they overestimated how long the applause break would be. So there's just a complete silence, and then he goes, "Oh, stop it!"
I want to preface though, I was already doing cook shit, and I'd never been given the opportunity to do an alternative comedy night before.
Yeah,
so in my head, I went, I want to go alternative. I want to see what my alternative to alternative is. And so I saw it as like a place to really cement myself in the Auckland
And
comedy
like
scene
a challenge.
and go
You're like,
Hundies.
I'm going to show these guys that I'm an alternative crazy guy.
Wait, what did you do?
You didn't
Oh my
know what the
God.
Overton window for alternative was, and you realised you were already well within it.
Yeah, and I remember going, how hard can I go? And you went, yeah, do whatever you want. And I was
Oh,
like,
no.
sick. So
I had no comprehension of what that meant.